Here are 10 Karens who messed with the Queen. Number 10, Johnny Marr. This guy's a bit of a Ken and really shows his hate for the late Queen. The main creative talents behind the Smiths were singer-songwriter Morrissey and guitarist Johnny Marr. While the two often disagreed about the direction of the band, they did agree on one thing: a seething resentment of the British royal family lording over their homeland. This guy really has a doom glare. I wouldn't want to get on his bad side because he might be a descendant of Medusa and turn me to stone. Marr said that he has a few problems with the monarchy, from serious to less serious. One thing about the Queen that bugs Marr: her resting bletch face. Why does she have to deal with her subjects with such a dour face? Surely her life can't be that hard, he said. The guitarist is apparently worried about her appearance, that it might reflect her personality. I can't think of too many examples of overt empathy and compassion. They just don't come to mind. When asked if he'd accept an honor or title from Her Majesty, such as a knighthood or being named a member of the Order of the British Empire, Marr emphatically replied, "F no." If he isn't messing with her in this interview, then I don't know what you guys want from me. Number 9, the Karen Pistols. No, that's not their real band name, but I can't really say it on here, so that's the best you get. Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, a year-long celebration of her 25 years on the throne, was on June 7th. And on June 7th, a rented boat called the Queen Elizabeth chugged through London down the Thames River, with the Karen Pistols and many other anti-establishment writers and artists aboard. Ostensibly a promotion for their extremely sarcastic second single, God Save the Queen. The stunt also served to preemptively mock the staid Royal River procession planned just days later. As night fell, the Karen Pistols took to the boat's stage and launched into their gleefully vitriolic anarchy in the UK while passing by the Parliament building. As the punk rockers continued with their set, police boats cornered the Queen Elizabeth, power was cut off, and the vessel had to dock. The band's manager reportedly fought with police while the band slipped away into the night and the remaining passengers rioted. It was, to say the least, anarchy in the UK. Ha. Hate or love the Royals, I would empty my bank account to see that live. That sounds like a blast, to say the least. Number 8, Tracy Ullman. Apparently she's a comedian, which I'm now finding out. I've never heard of her, but I'm sure she's hilarious. The Tracy Ullman Show debuted in 1987 and made her an instant star stateside, but it would be a whopping 30 long years before she returned to British television screens. Despite not being in country for all those years, Ullman has remained vocal about the way the UK is run. A member of Parliament once suggested I be put in the Tower of London for saying derogatory things about the royals. There's no First Amendment in my country. I love your Bill of Rights. The actress also said the UK should adopt the bicycling monarchy taken by other European countries to save money, and that royals should be able to step down instead of being forced into the royal service. Why should they have to? There are loads of people willing. One of those weird cousins, no doubt. And yeah, she's right. One of those weird cousins would definitely love to get into power, but I'm not sure they should. Number 7, Jerry Seinfeld. I apologize for the impression of Jerry coming. I'm just a big fan, really. Talk of the monarch started to become a huge thing back in 2011, when William and Kate tied the knot. The wedding was a big deal, given the prince's position in the line of succession. However, not everyone cared that the pair were getting married, including Jerry Seinfeld. The comedian referred to the whole thing as being a circus act, while also calling the royal family a huge game of pretend. Kinda funny he said that about the royals, considering he had a show in the 90s called Seinfeld, which was for all intents and purposes a show loosely based on his life. Sounds like a game of pretend to me. The show was amazing though, so he gets a pass. He said that people make out as though they're special, but in reality it's all merely an act. It's fake outfits and fake phony hats, is how he put it. I think that's a pretty good impression, in my opinion. Number 6, the Karen of Wales. The Prince of Wales is not ecstatic with Camilla, the new queen consort. Robert Lacey wrote that when Charles was deployed with the Royal Navy, he left knowing that he wanted to marry Camilla, but he did not have the courage to tell her. Without Charles's declaration of love, and knowing the realities of royal marriage traditions, Camilla accepted Parker Bowles' proposal. When news of the impending nuptials reached him, the Prince of Wales was said to have been utterly devastated. Per Mary Clare, Charles wrote of his sadness to his uncle, Lord Mountbatten, that such a blissful, peaceful, and mutually happy relationship had ended. According to royal biographer Penny Junor, the prince also wrote to Camilla 1 week before the wedding in an attempt to convince her not to marry Andrew. You might wonder how this is related to the Queen, but it's her son after all. When you mess with the offspring, you mess with the parents. Number 5. Michelle Obama. The former First Lady detailed a time when she broke royal protocol while meeting Queen Elizabeth II in her 2018 memoir, Becoming, revealing that Her Majesty didn't seem to mind. It's a rookie mistake that people seem to keep making, so what can the Queen do about it except let it slide? The best way to tell you what happened is to read you a part of Michelle's book. She said, quote, "Forget that she'd sometimes wore a diamond crown and that I'd flown to London on a presidential jet. We were two tired ladies oppressed by our shoes. I then did what's instinctive to me anytime I feel connected to a new person, which is to express my feelings outwardly. I laid a hand affectionately across her shoulder." Whoa, 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 red alert, red alert. You can't just mess with the Queen like that, Madam First Lady. Watch your hands next time. Number 4. Rihanna. Sometimes you don't even need to be anywhere near the Queen to disrespect her, and this is what singer Rihanna did. Back in 2017, the singer posted a few photos of the Queen of England, and they were pretty shady. She basically posted a photo of the Queen's face photoshopped onto one of Rihanna's body photos. While this may seem like the funniest thing for some people, for the royal family this was no laughing matter, and can only be seen as an insult. And shockingly, these were all posted on the Queen's birthday, which only made this joke that much worse. Come on, Riri, I know you know that we know that the timing is off, but it was pretty funny. Number 3. Lewis Hamilton. In 2009, English F1 driver Lewis Hamilton was invited by the Queen herself to attend a private lunch. Except when you think nothing could go wrong for some simple conversation and food, it still did. Lewis Hamilton acted like a Karen craving attention, and in 2015, Lewis was being interviewed by Edward Norton when he recalled the situation, saying, quote, "I was excited and started talking to her, but she said, pointing to my left, 'No, you speak that way first, and I'll speak this way, and then I'll come back to you.' This is because when you're sitting at the table with the royal family, you must first talk to the person to your right. Then, when you're finished, you must switch to the left." Basically, he didn't wait his turn and ended up disrespecting the royal protocols. How do people keep making this mistake? It's almost like the protocols are dumb? No, but that couldn't be it. Number 2. Donald Trump. The ultimate Karen and now NFT enthusiast, Donnie made a huge mistake by messing with the Queen here. Trump broke many protocols the time he met up with Queen Elizabeth II. But is this really a surprise to any of us? Trump broke from tradition by opting for a handshake instead of a bow when he visited the Queen at Windsor Castle in 2018. Also during this time, Trump walked in front of the Queen and appeared to cut her off, which is also against the rules and very Trump. Then, in the following year, Queen Elizabeth II decided to hold a state banquet at Buckingham Palace and invited Trump as well. And guess what? He broke the protocol again. Here, he would touch the Queen's back. Rule says he can't touch the Queen unless she offers her hand first. Despite all these broken protocols, nothing bad happened to Trump because he was the US president at the time. Pull that stuff again now, Trump. I dare ya. You'd be seeing the inside of a cell in London Tower. Number 1. Margaret Thatcher. The complicated relationship between the infamous Iron Lady and the Queen was depicted many times on screens and paper. The Netflix series The Crown emphasizes respect the two women developed through the years, despite the numerous disputes, personal and official, they shared. According to Sunday Times, things got very complicated in 1986 when Thatcher refused to impose economic sanctions on South Africa, opposing other Commonwealth members and the institution itself, which didn't sit well with the Queen, taking Commonwealth organization very seriously. The Queen felt Thatcher was destroying everything that was important to her, including their home country, and labeled Thatcher's policy as uncaring, confrontational, and divisive. After the Iron Lady was pushed out of Parliament by her own cabinet, the Queen invited her to a horse race event to show some support. Thatcher refused the invitation, but as reported by The Independent, felt flattered.
Mick Jagger. As reported in The Telegraph, he excited Princess Margaret according to Jagger's biographer. She was so fascinated with the rock star she built a villa next to him on an island where they indulged in partying. There is no record of them actually having an affair, but there was a flirtation going on there definitely via the Daily Mail. The Queen was reportedly not happy about him, fearing scandals or just general moral corruption. Meghan Markle. According to the Queen's strict standards, everything is wrong with Markle. She was married before and her celebrity status added even more drama to the British tabloids. In short, everything she does seems to be a mistake, firmly leading Prince Harry away from his family or the throne. The fact that Harry and she formally stepped down from the royal roles implies much. Margaret Thatcher. The complicated relationship between the infamous Iron Lady and the Queen was depicted many times on screens and on paper. The Netflix series The Crown emphasizes respect the two women developed through the years, despite the numerous disputes, personal and official, they shared. According to Sunday Times, things got very complicated in 1986 when Thatcher refused to impose economic sanctions on South Africa, opposing other Commonwealth members and the institution itself, which didn't sit well with the Queen, taking Commonwealth organization very seriously. The Queen felt Thatcher was destroying everything that was important to her, including their home country, and labeled Thatcher's policy as uncaring, confrontational, and divisive. After she was pushed out of Parliament by her own cabinet, the Queen invited her to a horse race event to show some support. Thatcher refused the invitation, but as reported by The Independent, felt flattered. Chinese officials. In 2015, the Chinese president at the time had a UK trip that did not quite go as planned. According to CNN, the Queen's complaints were actually caught on camera by a member of her staff. She made a remark to a Metropolitan Police officer that she found Chinese officials quite rude, especially during their talk with British Ambassador Barbara Woodward. Jacqueline Kennedy. Dislike between Queen Elizabeth II and Jacqueline was reciprocal, with both ladies being suspicious towards each other. Problems started in 1961 when the Kennedy couple visited Buckingham Palace and allegedly made some harsh comments about the appearance of the palace and the Queen herself. Jacqueline found the Queen's attire modest and not in line with the latest fashion, while to her, the palace seemed outdated and worn out. But the conflict was stirred before the two women even met. They disputed over the guest list at the protocol dinner. Jacqueline wanted to bring her sister, divorcee Princess Li, which did not sit well with the Queen, who opposed any kind of separation between married couples. Li did attend the dinner at the end, but as a way of retaliation, the Queen withheld invitations for Princess Margaret and Princess Marina, both of whom Jacqueline was eager to meet. She stated that she felt uncomfortable throughout the dinner, thinking, quote, "The Queen resented me." Camilla Parker Bowles. It is no secret how Camilla Parker Bowles, now the Duchess of Cornwall, came to the royal family. According to The Insider, the Queen and Prince Philip did not attend the ceremony of her and Charles, although they did visit the reception after it. Biographer Tom Bauer claimed in his book On the Royal Family that the Queen never approved of Camilla from the start, calling her a wicked woman on one occasion and stating that she did not want anything to do with her. Boris Johnson. Prime Minister Boris Johnson made his very first mistake during his very first audience with Queen Elizabeth II in 2019. Breaking protocol, he told everyone she stated that she does not understand why anyone would want to be Prime Minister. He was consequently told off by palace staff. Johnson later threw the Queen into quite an unpleasant position by demanding Parliament to be shut down for weeks, preventing a veto on a no-deal Brexit.
Thanks for watching.